How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Caddison here, and we are reacting to another episode of Doctor Who as we continue this series, and we move into the second half of things with episode 5. So I'm really looking forward to checking this episode out, which one would expect the episode to focus on the Doctor and Belinda again after they took a bit of a breather last week in regards to the fact that it wasn't Conrad's lucky day, was it? So yeah, but yeah, last week episode absolutely smashing. I mean, there was that scene with the Doctor and Conrad. Again, I'll reiterate what I said afterwards. He was lucky that Conrad was lucky he met with 15. If he met with someone like the 12th Doctor, for example, Conrad would probably be in witness protection or something along those lines, because yeah. Yeah, that was like one of Ncuti's finest scenes, I would say, so far in Doctor Who. Kate, solidifying herself as mother, it was just incredible. It was just really, really remarkable stuff. And like I said, we're now into the second half of things with this series, and I'm absolutely enjoying this series so much. I mean, I'm one of those people who did like Series 14, but I'm seeing these past 4 episodes of this series, and it's like miles ahead. It's just been absolutely amazing stuff. So it does sadden me that after this there'll only be 3 episodes left. Of course, the finale I'll be having to watch, I guess we'll all be watching on a later time, really, because I believe it'll drop like 7 p.m, like the good old days, I guess. I mean, it still does, but I get to watch it at 8 a.m. and all of that, and it's like, okay, I'll do that. But they won't be doing that for the finale, I believe, because they're releasing the finale in cinemas. And I believe, for America and whatnot, they'll be releasing it at like, 2, 3 p.m. So, yeah. Still, it is going to sadden me that, and there is the fact that we just don't know when the next series of Doctor Who will air. Obviously, we've got the spin-off the War Between the Land and the Sea, but we don't have an idea of when the next series of Doctor Who will be, whereas for Series 14, we kind of imagined that Series 15 would pick up, the year later, so yeah, but still, it will be very exciting to see where things will go, but also with this episode, because unlike, I guess, the previous 4 episodes, I have no idea what to expect with this episode. So, yeah, I am really, really excited. So, with that said, let's get into this episode of Doctor Who. It is episode number 5 of Series 15. Let's go.
Thank you. Are you a farmer? I asked. No.
I'm the Doctor.
I am the Doctor.
Amazing.
Hands, and that's how we met. He always comes when needed.
Oh no, is that like a warning?
It needs feeding.
It needs feeding? Ooh, I like that!
Oh, we can boost the Vindicator if we go to... Of course!
Go where?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos?
It's the largest communications technology market in Africa, and it is near Almost Palace.
Isn't that the place where Wanda made a mess where she didn't mean to in Civil War?
I'm accepted. I'm able to forget.
Yeah, because obviously you go back into the past and you're going to get judged.
Boy, we we laugh, we tell stories, they
Treat you like one of their own?
yeah.
Feels welcomed. It's sad, really. Turn back. Doc, remember what you said? Yeah, warning, they're like these signs, they're suggestions. In a town called Mercy, I believe you said that.
My establishment.
Your establishment.
Yeah,
Why is the street
yours.
deserted?
Is there some kind of time dilation thing going on here?
Why are they on all the missing posters?
They cannot leave. No one can.
They're all prisoners.
Oh, no. Who's next?
Oh my god! Whoa!
Out of stories.
But look at his hair.
It just
I've got this.
people can't really talk about your hair grows back too quick because these guys take the cake.
Our visual interpretation of his story.
Yeah, like they actually come to life.
Dalek, Cybermen, Weeping Angels.
You need to be getting a cut for that to work. They're all connected. The windows, chairs.
The Doctor's got a lot of stories. I am kind of just thinking back to Rings of Agatha. Underrated story, by the way, in my opinion. But I know it's not really revered, but I love it. And you remember when the Doctor was like, you had that iconic scene, banger scene, beautiful, where the Doctor said to that son, like, take my memories, of course, because he's lived a long life and all of that. And, yeah, he kind of tried to fed that son, right? It's kind of giving me that vibe when, obviously, they are keeping whatever this thing is, like, sated, fed. Stories play a very integral role to that, I'm imagining. So, yeah. And at the Barbers as well, it you know, it's a place where you can tell so much story and all of that, right? Yeah, it's kind of giving me those vibes. Like you tend to go on a narration of, you know, whether, you know, it's an entrancing story or whether it's gossip. You tend to be in that position when you're at the Barbers to ramble, to tell a story, all that kind of stuff. Hello? Good history, apparently.
We know who. He turned up one day and offered to give me a haircut in my own shop. I thought it was a nice thing. Said okay.
Let me do it for you.
He brought out his own clippers, and as soon as they touched me, a sort of current just ran through the whole shop.
Damn.
Magic.
As if he took
Witchcraft
control.
seemed to transfer itself.
Belinda, on any given day, nurses are knackered. And after a 13-hour shift, she was done.
His pictures are alive.
What about when you
was going
were
home.
stranded on Earth with the pod?
She heard something. Oh, Belinda, could you take her out?
Missus can present like this. It happened to my nan. Without steroids, she could die.
She knows her stuff.
You're right. She's yours.
It's my nan's birthday.
Oh.
What you did for me. The doctors took over, but you saved my life.
She was the key. I am loving how we are getting a bit of Belinda, but she's not here. Sheesh. He hasn't grown hair that quick since when he was the 12th Doctor.
These stories alone can superpower the engine. You see,
He's
Look
like
at what his
all you
hands
can
were.
eat buffet. Wait, what? Ooh, no! Oh no. Oh no.
I saw the Nexus. I used to call it the World Wide Web. Until the humans named something far uglier after that.
He's got a point! The internet is an ugly place.
There is
Especially
a
in 2025.
that goes.
There's nothing that he can do.
He has no real power.
Oh, go on. Threaten
You
him.
want to know who I am?
Threaten him.
I
Make
know
him
my
bite. Oh, shh.
And Nancy of mischief. I have been them all.
the god of
in many
stories.
cultures, in many worlds.
He's the god of
many
stories.
Incarnations. It does not matter what I am called.
You sure?
Yes.
She really threw with the "Are you sure?" Oh no! Are they really doing this? Are they really challenging him? Wow!
So much wine we caused a drought in Athens. Saga and I watched Marvel movies up until Endgame.
Oh,
She
for
didn't
crying
like
out
the war muscles
loud.
were too small. I played chess with Bastet. I let her think that she let me let her win.
So that the gods could be worshipped. That was my
Yeah.
job. They
So
only
he's the
exist
publisher, basically.
because of me.
You've got the ideas, but you need the book to be published.
But it worked without me. So they threw me out of my life's work. All I salvaged was my story engine.
Usefulness.
We will have vengeance.
Terrified someone would win me in a bet. I'd heard about you. Traveling through time.
Oh,
I had faith
no.
you would help.
Oh
Instead, you
no.
left me. I'm here because of you.
Oh no.
Was the
Fugitive! Holy shit,
For
Joe!
that bet. And frankly, darling, I was busy in a different
Oh
story
no!
that might be finished one day.
That he's gonna become everything that he hates and despises.
All for vengeance.
And you believe him?
He would not lie to me.
Look, it was a long time ago, Abby,
From memory, the gods, all of them.
to just basically decay them.
Severing
Alright.
gods from the story web, cutting them.
Not good
Their
idea.
essence will destroy them.
Hurt people. Your father hurt you. The difference between good and evil is what we do with our pain.
How we act out. Do we be the better person?
Put him in the chair with pleasure. Rashid, come. No.
I promise I will get you
I love the tension here.
They could make their hair into many shapes and patterns. And in one style, hair could be braided to the scalp, bending and curling like roads or paths. So the women
Nice.
would weave maps into their hair
Yeah,
and pass it on. Mothers,
it's a very
to daughters,
genius plan.
slave to slave.
He's trying to concentrate. Abina giving the map to freedom.
Yeah, she did. Oh, this is mental. It's kind of like, yeah, you have to kind of feel it, don't you?
This way.
This is cool. Oh my god, the maze though. Face is shaped like a brain.
Beating heart inside a brain.
Brilliant. What else is a
Head and the heart.
What else? Challenged him.
Hemi, baby, write me the shortest story you can. He wrote it in 6 words. Short as
6.
hell. Do you want to hear mine?
Don't you look tired? Do you think he looks tired?
I'm born. I die. I'm
Power of words.
No idea who's going to die.
Look at Yaz.
Definitely not the man I was.
11!
Body
Ah!
is like a barbershop. All of them inside, telling their stories.
Love that. Hey, my heart!
Because of you. Do you want that? Do you?
Is this the price that vengeance is... Are you really wanting to do this? Is this where the price of vengeance is going to take you?
I want you to live long enough to write it. Don't let this be how your story ends.
Come on, bud. Jeez. It's kind of terrifying, can't lie.
Oh yeah, go. Run. Meet your families for me.
Great.
I'm going to find my wife and child.
It's great that, you know, everyone lives. Like the Ninth Doctor wants, even he did.
All I wanted was to be credited for my work. I have spent my entire existence serving the gods.
You got tired, understandably.
What will I do now?
You look after me too.
But you're part of my community. I should have protected you. Huh?
He does feel bad. That's
I'm
it,
sorry.
though.
I'm sorry too.
There we go. All well that ends well.
Thank you, Doctor.
I will be back for a haircut. And for that 6-word story. Good luck.
There we go. You could tell, you could say that he is completely free now because that entanglement with the gods, it's cut.
Child.
Yeah, I saw a spooky.
See, I
thing
thought
back
that
there.
was Abby.
I didn't see anything. But the stories were leaking out, getting mixed up.
Okay. Well,
Unless,
you have to tell.
unless it's in relation to the Timeless Child, I don't know. I wasn't sure what to really expect with this kind of episode in terms of, you know, how it was going to fare compared to the last one. But it was really beautiful. It was really, really well done. And obviously, it's not going to carry the tension. It's not always going to be very, very tense like the standoff against Conrad last week, for example, and all of that. But it was still really, really well done and a very important element to storytelling and whatnot in regards to the importance of stories and, you know, how the barber was really the epitome of that in terms of how the gods that he mentioned that are, of course, in relation to the pantheon, they ended up using him in the end, and he got really pissed. So, but it's also really, really like that message of hurt people is really, really beautifully conveyed as well, because he was at risk of destroying a really, really fundamental aspect of what it means to be human, and that is the storytelling. The greatest story that's ever told. You know, with the Doctor and all of that. Like it's a very, very it's a very key element in terms of, you know, that trait belonging to humanity, because it sparks imagination and it sparks life, really. You know, you got your cinemas and you got your, well, even TV shows, all that kind of media to consume and all of that. It's derived from stories, and to eliminate that is to eliminate an essence of what it means to be human. So, yeah, so for him to kind of undo the God's work, the story God's work, really is a really, really massive gamble, and it was really, really great. To see how it all came about, because, yeah, I mean, I thought, like I said, I thought this was going to veer towards, again, the pantheons and whatnot, but I think with Doctor Who, they've established anyways that there are gods outside the pantheon. I mean, that's it. They're just called the pantheon of, you know, you've got your chaotic gods and all of that, but you've got those who do not fit that criteria. So it doesn't kind of I guess it doesn't kind of add on. If anything, it just means yes, there are other gods out there outside, you know, the pantheon that the Doctor is trying to stop and all of that. So yeah. If anything, he was aiming to protect them because of the importance that they hold to, obviously, the human race. And with the barber, I mean, there is a really, really great essence behind his character based on the fact that he has that vulnerability to him. So, yeah, and again, I thought that he was going, you know, to sacrifice himself for the hurt that he has done. But you know, to echo the Ninth Doctor, everyone lives. So It's just really great. But again, I guess this was because I was wondering where the haircut, element was going to go and all of that. But I kind of cracked early on in terms of the idea of where the story was going to go, because stories are never ending. It's a really, really good, as soon when they're mentioning about feeding this thing and all of that, and how stories is a never ending supply, it is literally that. And then this engine can keep going and going and going, because a story never ends, really. But it also just harkens back to the Rings of Akaten, and I was just getting those vibes, because you just think back to Eleven's iconic speech to that son, and it was just it was just giving those similarities. So yeah, it was just really, really great stuff. So like I said, I did crack early in terms of is this where this story is going to go and all of that? But it was just really, really beautifully told. And speaking about beauty, I just really loved how Lagos looked as well, even to the point where the alleyway looked more lifeless in a sense. Not just in terms of, obviously, population, because there was those warning signs of keep away, turn back, etc., etc., but the colour as well. Especially when they escaped the barbershop, everyone escaped and all of that, the colour returned. So I really, really loved that touch to that aspect. But it was just really, the colour tone was just really, really beautiful, apart from the alleyway, which was a good choice because of the whole lifeless and eeriness of that whole alleyway that was leading to the barbershop. So it was just really, really great stuff. But I also really loved how compressed it was as well inside the bar, and tensions would arise, should I say, in regards to obviously with the Doctor about to get his second trim and all of that. So yeah. So the tension was just really, really well done. But yeah, it was just really, really great. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna go for a Belinda Light episode when she was stuck in the TARDIS. But in a sense we weren't, because I thought, okay, well, this might be an ample opportunity to kind of separate the Doctor and Belinda, maybe, but we can still get maybe a bit more about Belinda with storytelling. I don't know, because there were also those visuals that seemingly, because my inclination was that they came to life and all of that, and I thought that was a nice touch as well, like kind of visualization to entrance the I guess storyteller or those listening to the story as well. So yeah, because that your imagination can come to life, and yeah, so and it kind of hits that poignancy as well for the engine to kind of absorb those stories. So it was so yeah, I thought that's where things were gonna go, but yeah. It was just really, really fantastic stuff. As well as the fact that the Doctor has had connections with some of the people that were in the barber shop. So yeah, obviously Abby was a very, very important one, because of the fact that we got to see Fugitive again, even if it was like for 10 seconds. There was of course the kerfuffle with Anansi. I think that was that god called that. Fugitive harkened back to. So it was really, really great to see Fugitive like it did, of course, kind of, because there was that hostility with Abby to the Doctor, and before the reveal, of course, you kind of get a bit of an idea that, okay, well, the Doctor's done something to piss her off. So yeah. And hey, it's apt. It's an apt place. You can tell this story to how the Doctor indeed pissed you off. So, and it all tied back to Fugitive. So yeah. So it was really, even if it was for 10 seconds. I mean, we saw a bunch of other Doctors as well, but that was more archive footage, whereas this was more so, I guess, selective memory for the Doctor in terms of remembering Fugitive, because, of course, there is that whole situation with, the Doctors before the first Doctor. But obviously all of the memories aren't there. The 13th Doctor made a very, very big decision in regards to remembering all of her lives, but she chose not to open those can of worms. However, of course, there are moments where, because we did see that glimpse of Fugitive, but it was like 15 was saying those words, but it was in, but we obviously saw Fugitive. So I'm guessing there are stories leaking, and there might be because I'm saying this in regards to something else that we saw in this episode, but it seems like there might be stories of the Doctor leaking out there. Maybe, who knows? But because we saw that kid, no explanation of who that was, but I'm thinking Timeless Child, maybe. I mean, it would be very, very apt, wouldn't it, if we saw a glimpse of the Fugitive Doctor? So, could it be a possibility that that kid was, and will be opening those can of worms? Maybe we know that Russell said he's not going to, obviously, I know the Timeless Child thing, not really I mean, even if I'm okay with it, it's not really a popular topic to talk about, is it? But we know that Russell is not going to ignore, and rightfully so. He's not exactly going to ignore it just because people hate it. Some things people will like, some things people will hate. It doesn't mean that we should consider that not canon because people hate it and all of that. There are some people who, like me, who are okay with the whole time. Could it have been executed better? Yeah, sure, but it's not the be all end all for me and all of that. So it's still an idea that I would have accepted anyways, even if they weren't building to it, even if it didn't come into existence. It's an idea that because I mean, I'm just thinking to the iconic Lungbarrow. And they were already planting the seeds anyways when it came to the Doctor having lives prior to the first Doctor with him. I mean, like I said, Seventh Doctor even mentioned about he was far more than just a Time Lord, and that was alluding to him being one of the founding members of Gallifrey, aka the Other. So so that idea was already a kind of knowledgeable, I guess. I guess even before Doctor Who got revived, really, in 2005. So, yeah. But, like I said, we'll see if that, child does mean that we're going to be opening those can of worms again. So, yeah, but it is, like I said, if stories are leaking out there with The Fugitive, maybe selective memory, I don't know, and that little kid, maybe it's something we'll unpack further and further. So yeah, but another person that the Doctor knew was Omo, because he did talk about his story and how he was saved in the beginning. So yeah, at first I thought, okay, well, are they gonna blot out the Doctor? Because I think we got illustrations of all of the characters in that story and all of that in the beginning, apart from the Doctor. And I was thinking, okay, is this going to be based on, is the Doctor being shadowed out, giving that, mystique in terms of it could be any incarnation, because that's the beauty about the Doctor. Any incarnation could just swoop in and say, but I feel like it was still 15 just to pertain to the idea of how accepted he felt, really, and that was also a very, very important element to add, because of the fact that obviously there are going to be times that that this Doctor can go, that he will go back into the past and all of that, and he will be judged and all of that. because of racism, because of the hostility of humans. So a place like so this is something that means a lot to him, and it's really and it really got Belinda to be like, you know what, I'll give you this freebie. So because she herself could relate to the Doctor's sentiments, so it was really, really nice. But of course, it would all ultimately lead to the barbershop being this kind of well, I can't even call it a ship, really, because it was traveling on this, like, kind of mechanical spider, wasn't it? Because we saw it when it was traversing. So it was having a ride, but I mean, it was still connected to the ship because to the spider, because of the fact that you know, the stories would feed the engine and keep it going. So yeah. And it makes sense that the Doctor is like an all-you-can-eat buffet for this engine. So yeah. So yeah, it was just really really great stuff. But again, it was just really beautiful stuff in terms of how you know, just how, yeah, it was just beautiful stuff in terms of storytelling and whatnot, and you know, just talking about you know, friendships and just dynamics and all of that. It's just really, really touching. So yeah, but it was just really, really fascinating stuff, and it was a beautifully told episode, something very, very compressed and all of that as well. So I also love the kind of like idea that Abby gave to the Doctor in terms of the braiding of the hair and how that paid into relation to past times as well, in terms of you know, obviously how you know, oppressed people were, and the women especially, they came up with innovative ways in order to help out others and help with that freedom. So and obviously it was going to be relevant to this episode in terms of being free from this barbershop. And because that's it though, all of these people were trapped, were prisoners. So in order to keep the engine going. And it was just really, really, and it just really was a cool idea, like, especially with the Doctor being able to get to the center of it all and all of that. And I just love that, you know, brain and the heart thing. Like, especially when it comes to storytelling, they are two important characteristics, the head and the heart. It might seem cliched, but this is where all of the ideas come about. This is where your passion lies. So, and I guess it's also to give it life as well, a beating heart as well. So yeah, but this is where all of the ideas are. This is where your passion lies. Like I said, as well as to give it heart, to give it life, to give it a semblance of. Or, yeah, just to give it life, basically. I don't need to go on any further than that. But, yeah. And Ncuti, again, did a really, really fantastic job, like I said, in terms, like I have, you know, said. I mean, these last few episodes have really brought his Doctor to life, I would say, definitely. I mean, he's done a really fantastic job anyways, but I feel like, you know, he is continuing to raise the bar further and further, and it's just really great. Even something like this, which, you know, it's so compressed that there are like moments of tension, there are moments of hurt where, you know, he's betrayed by Omo because he wanted to be free and all of that at the expense of the Doctor, and it's like, oh, you really throw me under the bus? But even trying to convince the barber as well about basically starting a new chapter. Because that's it, though. He's been so consumed by the gods. Excuse me. Hydrate, folks. But yeah, he's been so consumed by the gods, says the barber. And he wants revenge on them. And he's been so consumed to the point where the human race might be at risk because of that obsession, really. So yeah, I do love though the moment where he pretended to be like, I am those gods of stories and all of that. So yeah. So it was just because that's it though. He was very sinister beforehand, but it's such a nice subversion because again, I was thinking, is he like another, Pantheon? Is Abby the Harbinger? Because Abby, Harbinger, yeah, you've got you can't spell Harbinger without, I mean, I think she was spelled Abby with a Y. But there is also another way to spell Abby. So, yeah. And those 3 letters are important to Harbinger. But it's a nice subversion as well. Because he's like, you know what? I am all of these gods. I am Loki. I am Dionysus, etc. And then the Doctor's like, bitch, please. I've met all of these. I've met these gods. Even throwing in a Marvel reference as well. So, yeah. I just loved how that there was that moment of tension and the Doctor quickly dismissed it. So yeah, and then of course the truth came out about how he was, he was kind of this vessel for storytelling, really, this person for storytelling, and he was very instrumental of connecting those bridges and all of that. And then he was just worthless in their eyes. So yeah, but it was just really, really terrifying. So yeah, but very, very fun in terms of the ultimate reveal. Like, you're not those gods. Look, I've done this and I've done that. You're not them. So try again. But it was just a really, really great story. It was just really great. So very beautifully told, very well done, tense atmosphere, but it was just really great. So yeah. But I am also looking forward to the Interstellar. Is it the Interstellar? Yeah, the Interstellar Song Contest, which is going to be next week. Because when I was younger, I used to love the Eurovision Song Contest. I'll still check up on it every now and again, but it's kind of, like as you grow older, you kind of realize it's more political based, and yeah. So the fun and the flair is still there, but it kind of gets a little bit marred, doesn't it? So yeah, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right. If you want to check out more of my content, you can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!